Hold on, we are going to hit record. Kim, if you could spot my video, please, that would be amazing. So we can get that done and handled. We are talking today about the hidden link in the quantum leap. So, welcome to the expansion room. If this is your first time being here, I'm Elyse Archer. I'm the founder and CEO of She Sells and Superhuman Selling. We are so excited to have you. And if you're returning, welcome as well. This is the place for you. If you are an entrepreneur, a visionary leader, a CEO, a founder, a sales leader, maybe in corporate, and you are ready for more. You are ready for more abundance, more opportunities, more flow, more ease. You're ready for that quantum leap that maybe you've heard other people talk about and has felt maybe elusive or like, where is it? Why am I not experiencing it yet? I'm ready for it. This is the room for you. We are here to help you quantum leap. I'm here to help you quantum leap. And today we're diving into one of my favorite topics, which is how to balance feminine and masculine energy in your business, i.e., what does it look like to have structure and surrender? This is something that I have really learned over, I would say to master. I feel like I'm always mastering another level though. So I don't know if you've ever truly, I don't think we've ever truly arrived, but I will say I've really learned how to lean into this in my business, and it has created really phenomenal results to be able to now be a woman who runs a multi-million dollar business as a mom of three kids, five and under, doing the thing, and who is very happy and present and fulfilled in my life. And my hope for you, my wish for you being here, and I'd love for this to be as interactive as possible for those of you who are here live, but it's that you find maybe that missing key today. Maybe that place where you felt like you're hustling, like you're grinding, like you're burned out, and like, why am I not experiencing the results that I thought I was going to experience and have in my life? Well, I'm here to tell you it's because you're hustling, grinding, and burnt out. Or maybe you've kind of swung all the way into what I've heard called the swampy feminine before, which makes me laugh. But where you're in total surrender, but you're not really actually taking a lot of action towards what you want. We don't want to be in either of those. We want to find a beautiful balance between all of them. And so that's what today is about. We're going to be doing that. I just want to welcome you again. If you're joining here live, we are so happy to have you and to see you. I see Amy's in the house. I see Pam's in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Where are you coming in from? I want to hear. Drop it in the chat if you're here live today. What part of the world are you coming in from? I am in North Carolina today. And speaking of swampy, it is. I had my hair down for 2 seconds and I said, I can't do this anymore. Kalamazoo, Michigan. Oh my gosh, Pam, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. Oh, Melissa from Long Beach. I love it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Amy, Patrick in the house. New York. I love it. Danielle, how are you? Oh my gosh, so good to see you all. So, the expansion room is designed to be interactive. I'm going to give you some teaching today. We're going to talk about how to get engaged in more if you're not yet in the community and you want to go deeper in this work. And I want to have the time to be able to work with you live if you're here live. So I want you to think about, what would I love to get coached on? What do I have questions about? Where am I feeling stuck in my business? My favorite work to do is real time with whoever is here live. And so if you're here today, you're here for a reason. It's not by accident. It's not by mistake. God, source, universe, the divine, whatever your language is, has brought you to this. And so I want to have the time to pour into you. I am getting past a little bit of a cold, so just bear with me on my voice. It's we're doing it, y'all. But my daughter brought home something from summer camp and we all got it. We've had it for like 3 weeks. So we're making it work, um, but we're making it work. That's all I will say. All right, but so be thinking about what your questions are. I'm going to be doing a little bit of just logistics here before we get into the content for today. So if this is your first time in the expansion room, or if you're watching the replay later, you got to register to join live. And so make sure to register. Kim, if we can drop the link in the chat for the weekly registration so that you can come join live, have the opportunity to be coached by me. Thank you so much, Kim. It's elisearcher.com/expansion-room. And I want to encourage you too. If you have questions today, drop them in the chat. I'll open up time for live coaching towards the end. But if you have questions as we go or an aha moment, I love interaction. I love seeing you. So have your camera on, please, if you can. I want to see your beautiful face. I want to interact with you. I want to pour into you. That's what this community is about. We have the most beautiful community of entrepreneurs, thought leaders, sales leaders in the world in the superhuman selling and she sells communities. And I really think that that is such a powerful part of what we're doing here. You do not have to ascend on your own. You do not have to try to hit your goals on your own. In fact, I was a lone wolf for so many years. I've still got some of that conditioning in me that's like, I've got to do it on my own. Drop a one in the chat if you have that too. If you're like, I've got to do it on my own. I'm not going to reach out to anyone. I'm not going to lean on anyone. I get to work through that in myself every single day. And what I have found is that the more I personally lean into support in my life, the more I lean into community, the more I'm visible and lean into other people, the more I ascend and the faster and easier it gets to be. And if you have big goals, which I know you do, you're not here to do it alone and you're not meant to do it alone. So we are so glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And like I said, we want this to be really interactive and a place for you to get your questions answered and your needs met as well. So I'm not going to go into the full story today, but I'm going to give a very high level and then I'm going to give you a free training resource before we go any further. Cherie's in the house. What's up, Cherie? Hello, beautiful. I'm so glad to have you. Welcome, welcome. So, why I'm so passionate about this work. If you have ever felt stuck, how many of you have ever felt stuck? Give me a two in the chat if you've ever felt stuck, or maybe you're feeling stuck right now. Oh, yeah, everyone, right? I was stuck with a capital S, ladies. I'm going to say ladies because it's all women on here right now, but we got some great men in our community. I was stuck with a capital S for over 10 years. Big vision, big goals, big ambitions, first in corporate, then as an entrepreneur, grinding, hustling, burning the candle at both ends, like climbing the corporate ladder, doing the thing. And no matter how hard I worked, I could never break past a plateau. For me, it was low six figures. And I simultaneously was struggling with anxiety, panic attacks, and eating disorder, self-doubt, a lot of fears and worry about money, especially. It consumed me. It was so uncomfortable. It was all I thought about. How am I going to pay the bills this month? I would feel insecure no matter how much I made. It took up so much of my life. I had a series of events happen, including having my first son be born, um, having a dear friend of mine pass away in his sleep at age 39, leaving behind a wife and five kids. He was my podcast co-host. And I kind of looked at my life and I realized how much of my time I was spending focusing on what wasn't happening, right? Why was I having such a hard time? Why was the money not coming in? Why could other people do it but not me? And I just decided, I think it was that combination of my friend passing and me not being that much younger than him and having my first son. I'd been reading a book by Bronnie Ware, The Top Five Regrets of the Dying. If you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend it. And she talked about the number one regret people share on their deathbed is that they wish they had had the courage to live a life true to themselves rather than what everyone else expected of them. And facing loss and death of a dear friend while also holding new life in my arms, I said, I am ready to stop putting my life on layaway. I am ready to stop waiting until it's convenient or it's time to experience the fullest expression of me. And I'm going to go all in. And so I went all in on the material that we teach now in the She Sells and Superhuman Selling community, but I didn't know it that way at the time. I was learning it. I was a student. I'm still a student of it. We're always a student of it, but I've learned it well enough to be able to teach and help and serve other people with it now. Um, and I decided to put all excuses to the side to go all in to invest in myself heavily in ways that felt extremely uncomfortable, get radically uncomfortable in every part of my life. And in 6 weeks, I went from being stuck for over a decade to turning my annual income into my monthly income. I quantum leaped my life. I shifted my relationship with money, with God, source, universe, whatever your language is, with myself as a mother, with myself as an entrepreneur, as a thought leader, as a visionary. And that has empowered that shift, empowered my family to go really create our dream life in many ways. And it is the fuel behind what we teach now in the She Sells and Superhuman Selling communities. And so if you want to go deeper into, well, what did that look like to turn your annual income into your monthly income in 6 weeks? How is that even possible? I want to share with you, Kim, if we can drop the link for the 4 quadrants free training in the chat. We put together a free training. There's not enough time to go into all of it on this particular call, but I'm going to teach you a segment of it today and then share with you how to go deeper in this work if you'd like to on the other side of this. Thank you so much, Kim. So, we have a free training for you. It's basically when I looked back at what happened, I said, "Oh, that's how it happened." But when you're in a quantum leap, you don't always see it. You know, because you're really uncomfortable. How many of you are really uncomfortable right now? Give me a give me a U in the chat if you're uncomfortable. Because I can tell you that's part of how you know you're uncomfortable. Okay, Danielle's uncomfortable. Pan's uncomfortable. Yes, that's part of how you know. You with a capital U. Yes, Amy, I love it. I love it. That's part of how you know. But you know what? You don't see it until you're on the other side of it. You don't see it until you're on the other side to say, oh, that's how the money came in. That's how the opportunities came in. That's why I felt called to do that, even though that made no logical sense. The money wasn't in the bank. The opportunities weren't in my CRM. The how wasn't there. The 5-step plan wasn't there. You're never, never, never going to be able to see the how of your quantum leap on the front end of it. You're not. It's going to be a feeling. It's going to be, it's like a feeling that you navigate. You're like, I feel called to do this. I feel pulled to do this. This doesn't make any sense. My logical mind, my logical friends, my my risk averse people around me, they would say, no, this is crazy. Why are you doing this? On the other side of it, it always makes sense. But it's not until you're on the other side. And so that 4 quadrants training will kind of take you through. When I looked back, I said, oh, that's how it happened. But it wasn't, again, it wasn't until I got through that. And I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable right now. And I want to tell you, if you're in here and you're uncomfortable, that's a good thing. That means you're ready for change. There's something that I have learned, which I share on stages and in our community pretty regularly, which is that at a certain point in your life, your comfort zone becomes your cage. And I don't think any of us came here to be comfortable. It can be nice to have those moments. It can be nice to have a little breather sometimes. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But you're not here to have a comfortable life and then die. That's not it. You're here to grow. You're here to expand. You're here to have mountaintop moments. You're here to move through the contrast as it comes up because that's growing you as well. And we're here for you as a team, collectively as well. So, the 4 quadrants of quantum sales growth is the signature method that I developed after that first quantum leap experience. It's something that we teach in our community now in my group coaching, my mastermind, my private coaching. And what I want to share with you today is part of it, which is learning how to integrate your masculine and your feminine energy. We're going to be talking about structure and surrender today. So, before I go any further, for those of you who are here live, do you have any questions? Do you have any ahas? Do you have any takeaways? You can raise your hand. You can drop it in the chat. I just want to make sure because I can get on a roll sometimes. And then I'm like, man, I said we're going to have time for coaching and we didn't. I want to honor you if you're here live. Does anyone have questions so far? Amy, Ashley, Cherie, Danielle, Catherine, Melissa, Pam, questions on anything? We good? Gonna keep going? All right. Let's do it, ladies. I love it. So, masculine and feminine energy. All right, let's talk about this. So, I used to think feminine energy was a dirty word. I used to not and I did because I didn't really know what it meant. I was so in my masculine in corporate. And then even as an entrepreneur at the beginning, where it was like constant hustle mode, grind mode, never enough time. Overwhelmed was my middle name. I don't know how many of you can relate to that, but that was how I approached my life and my business. And because the energy in which we take an action determines the outcome of the action and determines more of what we get, although I was taking a lot of action, I was still always overwhelmed and always feeling behind and always feeling stuck. All right. So, nothing wrong with masculine energy. Masculine energy is beautiful, and it's not about being a man or a woman. Masculine energy is structure. It's logical. It's action. It's in your business. It's like your CRM. It's your calendar. It's all of those things. There's nothing wrong with that. But when we're all there, number one, you're never going to quantum leap from pure masculine energy. It's heavy, it's hard. You're not inspired. You can tell you're too far in your masculine if you're depleted, burnt out, plateaued. That's a huge cue. You're way in your masculine. All right. So just have some awareness. I'd love, as you're listening to this, drop an M in the chat if you're like, oh, I'm really in my masculine right now. I can feel it. I can tell. We tend to kind of swing between one or the other. I want to teach you alignment today. That's the most important thing. That's how I've continued to grow and scale my business. Small M, Melissa. Okay. Okay. I love it. Beautiful awareness. Now, what I find sometimes, I'll have women come into our community who are like heavy hitters in corporate. They've done the thing. They've been so in their masculine energy for so long that they come into our community and they start learning about how to quantum leap from feminine energy. And they're like, wait, I can double or triple my income and work less and feel happier, be in more flow? Yes, you can. And sometimes they swing so far into the feminine. Feminine is beautiful, right? Feminine is inspiration, vision, the feeling, quantum leaping, spirit. It's divine, it's flow. But if you swing too far there where you're not taking any action at all, I've had clients I love who, again, were like corporate bunnies, hustling, doing the thing. And they'll message me sometimes when they're a few months into our community and they're like, I've never felt so good in my life, but I'm not taking action, at least the way I used to. What does this mean? I'm like, we got to get a balance. We got to get back in the middle. Okay. You have to have both. So, masculine is designed to be in service of the feminine. All right. Your masculine energy, which is structure, action, support, it's designed to be in service of the feminine. What does this mean? And what does this look like? This looks like the key, the quantum leap comes when you lean heavily into your feminine, heavily into your vision, heavily into your relationship with God, source, spirit, divine, heavily into possibility, heavily into the quantum field, heavily into all of that, right? There's a feeling state associated with that. If I'm working with you as a client, I want you to first access the feeling state of what does it feel like for you to be a millionaire? What does it feel like for you to grow and scale your business? Maybe you launch 5 new locations of I feel like someone here on this call or watching the replay, there's like more locations you're wanting to launch of what you're doing. There's some sort of expansion there where you want to take up more space, more geography. So maybe you launch 5 new locations of your business, or your franchise. What does it feel like to be able to provide a beautiful, um, all expenses paid Disney cruise for your family, for your kids, to be able to take your team on a beautiful trip and celebrate them, to be able to buy the dream home? What does that feel like? I want you in that feeling state first. And then, because neurologically, we can't think beyond the level of our emotional state, from that place of feeling differently, which is the feminine, you're now going to have different inspired ideas to take. That makes sense? The expansion room was an inspired idea. We didn't used to do this. We used to do maybe like once a month, I would do a live free event. And as I was looking at this year, I had some significant contrast at the end of last year, coming into this year, probably first 4 to 5 months felt really challenging, to be honest. And I went through a period where I didn't have the vision and the connection and the inspiration the same way I used to. I gave myself the space and the grace to move through that and to let that be okay. But then as I was coming out of that and starting to really like harvest the fruit of who I became in that season, because that is a big part of it. That's the actual fruit of all of that. Um, I started thinking bigger for my business than ever before. I started really connecting with who I was as a CEO, as a visionary, as a thought leader at another level. And this idea for the expansion room came up, and to be able to weekly or almost weekly, because last week I was out with my kids. They're at a summer camp, but almost weekly come together and hold a space where we can come together, and you can come in if you're not part of the community yet, if you're not part of the 10K club or the 50K club or our membership or private coaching, you can come in and be like, what is it like to be in the energy of this group, of this community, Elyse working with me? And so that idea followed a a feeling state of gratitude, even on the other side of contrast, a feeling state of expansion, a feeling state of, wow, I can handle way more now because I've been refined in this past season. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I feel like we all have seasons like this in life. And so you want to get to the feeling state first of what is it that I'm calling in. And then from there, the inspired actions will come about. And the action is usually not more of the same of what you've been doing. It's usually more elegant. Price Pritchett in U Squared talks about there's an elegant solution. I used to be a woman who really valued a lot of action. I still value action, but it was again like grind, burnout, hustle action all the time. And now I've learned it's way more about efficacy over effort. So if you feel like you're efforting in your business, you're not in quantum leap energy. If you feel like you're grinding, like it's hard, like you're taking a ton of action, like you're on the hamster wheel, you're not going to ascend in quantum leap in that energy. And I want you to come get in our community, get in my mastermind, get in the 10K club, get in our consultant certification, because there's a different way to grow your business to make way more money. We have so many women and men in our community who have turned their annual income into their monthly income, retired their partners. We've got a wonderful consultant on my team who works what she calls a 3 by 3 schedule, 3 days out of the week, 3 weeks out of the month, and the rest of the time travels, has vacation time. What did she double her income last year, turn it into her monthly income? I don't know what she did. She did some phenomenal increase. She would tell you if she was on here today. But that is very, very, very possible and doable. Our community does it all the time, but you've got to lead with the feminine and then let the action and structure support that. Let me see what Danielle's saying in the chat. I'm living in the feminine a lot lately. I love this place and feeling, and also know I need to have a better flow of both, need alignment. It's a great awareness, Danielle, right? It really is. And that's okay. Like I said, a lot of times especially if you came from a lot of masculine, it can feel like you're detoxing when you first learn this. And so I let my ladies have that. I'm like, it's okay, like detox, do it. But you're going to reach a point where you're like, I'm itching to take action. I want to do something, or I don't feel quite as supported, or I feel uncomfortable because I don't feel like there's enough structure. So you'll learn to tune into your body. You'll learn to tune into what you need. And for every, I mean, you've heard me say this because you're one of our consultants, but for every new level you want to reach, there's another level of feminine you want to call in and another level of masculine. It's always an up level of both. And I think that real wisdom and real growth comes from being able to look at, all right, what's my vision? Where do I want to go? You were on the consultant call yesterday where I was talking about I'm doing like my 12-month glow up right now, and it's super fun and I love it. And so I wrote out all these different sections of life, like health and fitness. Shout out to Amy, health and fitness, financial, lifestyle, relationships. It was like, if my life, and I've got a really good life right now, like it's beautiful. This was my quantum leap life a few years ago, but I'm ready for more. I was like, if my life was unrecognizable in 12 months, what would it look like? And so I wrote out all these beautiful goals in each. And so first, you want to get to what's the feeling state of that, right? Like when I have 10 million in the bank or 100 million in the bank or a billion in the bank, how do I feel? What is that embodiment, right? And then you want to go there in your mind, you want to go there in your vision, you want to connect with it. But then you got to take some action. Then you got to move the energy. And that's often the uncomfortable part for people, because you're going to have to do things that the old version of you would not do. You're going to have to invest in yourself in ways that feel very uncomfortable. You're going to have to say yes to things that the old version would say no to. You're going to have to release some people from your life. You're going to have to release the things that used to make you feel comfortable, but are actually energy drains and sucks. You're going to have to do those things. And that's where the masculine piece comes in as well. So, questions on any of this so far? 3x3 structure, Sheree. Yeah, it's so good. I know she came in and spoke about it at one of our events. Um, she's one of our contributors to She Sells Magazine. So we're launching a new issue of She Sells Magazine next week. I'm so excited. If you all have not read it yet, be on the lookout for it on my social media. Pam, you have it. It's so, I have the most phenomenal team. I was just meeting with them and we were going over this issue. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I was reading it this morning. I'm going to go on a tangent, but then we're going to come back. I was reading it this morning at 4 a.m. because my 3-year-old gets up at 5. So I'm like, I've got to get the things done before he's up and in my face like this. And I had to get the final edits into my team. So 4 a.m., I'm sitting there with my coffee and my candle burning, and I was reading through it. I was like, I love this thing. Like, it's amazing. It's such a good magazine. We launched it last year. Danielle, you were there at the launch party for it, which was so beautiful. I'm seeing if anyone else who was here live was there at the launch party. That was a quantum leap moment, right? I was like, I want to be a magazine editor. I want to launch a magazine. Like that was something that had been part of my vision for so long. And we did it. And it's out now and it's gorgeous. But the whole point of that is one of the contributors in there, Allison Lecoussier, she talks about the 3x3 schedule. She's phenomenal. And so be on the lookout for that. It's going to launch next week on my social media. It's free. You just go in and download it. It's so good. But you'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it. It's so, so good. We talk a lot in this issue about your relationship with more and how to get comfortable with that. That's something we've been working on in the community this year a lot with my members. Oh my gosh. Yeah. You all are going to love it. I'm so proud of it. It's like my team. It's a labor of love. They're phenomenal. I'm so grateful for them. It's going to go print next year. We're going to probably like franchise it out. I'm really excited. So be on the lookout and we would love to feature it. A total side note, but if you're ever interested in a feature in the magazine, reach out to me because that's something that we're rolling out as well. And we would love to feature amazing women who are doing incredible things in their businesses. So totally off the track of what I was going to talk about today, but the 3x3 schedule, I was like, I got to give Allison a shout out. And you can read more in her issue or her interview in the magazine. So, masculine energy is beautiful. We need it. Structure, uh, logic, action, end, destination, goal oriented. It's more individualistic. It's me versus we. Again, nothing wrong with that, right? But the feminine is where we want to spend more of our time if we want a quantum leap, right? So vision, intuition, creativity, receiving. So Danielle, to your point before of feeling like, okay, I've been in my feminine and I'm ready for more masculine, I would really look at for the woman who has the life and business that I want, who's at the level I want to be at, what structure supports her? What is her schedule like? What is her calendar like? Is there different team in place, like another level of team? Um, how does she, to me, having structure allows you to flow through your day, and which is actually being in feminine, which is really beautiful. But I would really look at that and say what structures would support her and be open and available to that. So I was thinking about this. I want to talk a little bit more about this, then I want to open it up for coaching. I was having a conversation yesterday with a client. She's a private client. She's finishing up her first year of private coaching and going into her second year. And we were on a call this past year. She has quantum leap. She's not on this call right now, but she's going to know who she is if she listens to this later. Um, she left her corporate job. She launched a business. She's launching something right now that's going to be at the level of if any of you know like EOS or the book Traction or any of like she's launching something that's going to be at that level, but like a feminine lens. It's awesome. She's so cool. She spent this past year probably way more in her feminine. We've been doing a lot of wealth consciousness work with her. a lot of releasing, a lot of learning to trust, to show up more in her feminine energy, a lot of softening, a lot of surrendering. Life has become so much easier for her and so much more in alignment with her. And we got on our call yesterday, and she was like, I am ready for really structured action now. Like, I'm ready to really step into that. But it's so beautiful because I got to talk with her about, I think I'm going to call it like my $1 million month formula. I don't know. It's something I'm playing with in my own life and business right now, about how I've learned to integrate both of those. And we put together such a beautiful action plan for her, but it has her staying in her feminine, um, feeling connected to source, to her higher self, to God, the divine, again, whatever your language is there, being available to receive and also taking the right action, right? And so if any of you have questions or want some coaching today around, all right, how do I balance the feminine energy, which is connecting to your vision, the feeling state, the flow, receiving quantum leap, with what action should I be taking? I would be so happy to answer that, to work with you on it, to help support, because that's really what we talked about yesterday for her. I'm just checking in here from Amy. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And so even just for, I'll share a little bit of example for right now of like how I do things in my life. So I feel like that might be helpful for people. So I'm a woman who right now is raising three kids, primarily solo. I'm down here in North Carolina. They're 5 and under. They're beautiful kids. They're my life. They're everything. I love them. And also running my business. We do multi-millions in sales every year. And I've got like the old version of me would not have been able to do this. Absolutely. Um, I get enough sleep. If I don't get enough sleep, it's the kids. I can tell you, I can tell you that. Some nights there's not enough sleep. Let's be honest, but it's because the kids are coming in at 11 at night telling me they wet the bed, right? It's something like that. Melissa, you look like you know. I love it. I get enough sleep. I'm healthy. I eat well. I exercise almost every day. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. I say all of that to say that a former version of me would have thought there is no way to do that without being in major grind hustle mode. Like there's no way. I'm not. I'm not, like I it's easy. I almost don't want to say that because people would be like, it's not. But it is. I want you to know it is. It is. It is. And it's about learning how to connect with the identity of who is the version of me where this is easy and natural and normal for this result to happen, and then take the actions to help support that. So, morning time, non-negotiable, ladies, spiritual time. I'm up early, I'm lighting a candle, I do cards, I'm pulling my cards. Um, I'm reading, I'm meditating, I'm journaling. That to me is critical. I'm like, I don't care how early I got to get up. I'm going to do it because I need that for my mind for the day. And then it's mom time. Like, here we go. They're in summer camp right now, which is beautiful when we're back in Maine. I've got a nanny back there who helps with them. But right now it's me getting them ready and out the door by 7:45. And so we're doing that, and full-blown mom time, but present with them in the morning. And then what I've learned in my days is to only put things on my calendar that are in alignment with my goals, not where I've been. So I want you to really look at, where am I letting things on my calendar that are, number one, of sure a dead giveaway is, are they energy drains? Do you have things on your calendar right now that are energy drains? Get them off. It's costing you money. Do you have things on your calendar that are actually expanding you, that are getting you on different platforms, stages, depending on what your goals are, right? In front of new clients, like really ideal clients. Are you prioritizing that? Are you letting other things get in the way? So I'm doing that throughout the day, but like I'm stopping and taking a break. I'm going for a beautiful walk. I'm enjoying myself. I'm pouring into myself. Friday is like my spa day, nature day, whatever it is that I want to do to pour into myself. So I say all of that to say that's the structure, right? Like you've got to put in that structure and that piece and build out your calendar to support where you're going, not where you've been. This is really big. Like if I were to audit your calendar right now, Would it be the calendar of you in your $1 million business or your multi-million dollar business, whatever your goals are? Or would it be the calendar of where you've been previously? If I were to look at your self-care right now, your spiritual routine, would that be for the woman who's where you want to go or for where you've been? Right. So we're always aligned to something. People are like, I'm not in alignment. Well, you're in alignment to something, but are you in alignment with the version of you who's where you're going or the old version of you? Are you in alignment to your goals? Are you in alignment to resistance? Cherie's saying, totally got an old version calendar. There you go. Update it, update it, update it. This would be such a fun exercise to think about. Where do I want to go? Like, I'll proactively block out time and space on my calendar for the things I want to do. Right. So I'll share it at the end of the day today. We're going to talk about how to get more involved in our community, the things going on. One of the things I've opened my calendar up for this fall is VIP days. I haven't done really, like, I haven't carved out space for these in a while, except with my ongoing private clients. And I was thinking about this fall and I was like, what would I love to do? I was like, I want to pour into some women or men. It's usually women who I do these with, but I've got really cool male clients too. I want to pour into them and I want to have an intentional, beautiful, focused day to completely pour in to this woman to help her with her wealth consciousness, with her business strategy, with her family life, motherhood strategy, if that's part of it, to help her quantum leap, collapse space and time to have a beautiful experience. So I'm blocking out those days on my calendar now. Does that make sense? Like, I'm already doing it. And again, I'll tell you about them today at the end of today, how to apply if it's something you want to do and be part of. Um, or I'll say, like, I want to take on 2 new private clients. So now I'm going to block out the time for the calls with them every week. Does that make sense too? Or I want to, I don't know, go to Mykonos next year. So I'm going to block out the time for that now. Again, just throwing it out there. That's probably someone's goal on this call. I want to know if it's you, drop it in the chat. Someone here I feel like wants to go to Greece. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Um, oh, is that you, Pam? I love it. I have a vision of taking our mastermind there. I really want to do an international trip with our mastermind next year. So it may not be Greece to start. I'm feeling it might be Italy to start, but I'm very, very excited about it as well. So that's beautiful. So, questions on any of that so far? Raise your hand. Does anyone want coaching support on any of this? Something that I've learned too, like I feel that someone does. Um, Whatever your question is, it's going to really help someone else. So as we go through this, if you have questions, please pause. Cherie, let's do it.
Elise, you know how I am with you. I always want to hide out in the background and not raise my hand. I'm just like,
You did it.
she's done
Hey,
it to me again.
I love you. I'm so happy to see you.
Oh my gosh. So
Yeah.
just everything about today has been good. And I just felt totally challenged and I moved totally into uncomfortable when you talked about the calendar. And when you said you were blocking off the days, I'm like, okay, I need to go block off a day in October to do that makes her own rules workshop.
Yes.
And I am very scared excited to do that. But
Okay.
but I'm looking at 2 weekends in October.
Yes.
And you because you know I'm still producing it. I haven't created it yet. It's
Doesn't
the
matter.
outline.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm gonna say the 24th of October and put it out.
Love it.
But I'm scared. But I would love
Okay.
to just in general hear a little bit more about how to do the calendar because my calendar's just been like I've had the same things, block off time in the morning, and it's just been there, you know,
Yeah.
and pick 3 things to do today. But it's like
Okay.
not always I'm not always having a plan and intention that far out.
Mm.
I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
what I'm
Yeah.
doing in 3 weeks, you know? And so like
Okay.
this, I'm like, oh, okay. You know,
Yeah.
unless it's an event coming up that that someone else has put together. I don't put my own events on like that. So I maybe
Okay.
it's just coaching as much if it's awareness
Uh-huh.
and fear, but maybe I think I do need something to think about because I haven't thought about this structure at all. Like
Hmm.
calendaring as a tool to move you forward. I've never thought about that. I've thought of it as a calendar is just to keep track of what you need to do. But to
Mm,
use it as a tool to move you forward and into new energy is just like a whole new way of thinking.
yeah. Yeah. Yes,
Hey,
yes,
I don't even
yes.
know what to do with it yet, but yes.
Okay.
So getting started, maybe the coaching,
Yeah.
like what I need to, what questions I should ask myself, what I should do to maybe
Yeah.
even start changing my calendar is probably what I need.
Yes. Okay. I love it. I love it.
I'm putting it
So
on
we,
right now, though, so I don't forget.
what was that?
I'm putting my thing on my calendar right now, so I don't
Yeah.
forget.
Well, and you just said
Okay.
it live, so you can't take it back now. So
No,
now it,
no, it's recorded.
which is, which is good. I love it.
Okay, okay, I'm in.
Okay. I love it. So here's what I would say, and I'll also offer to anyone who's here live or if you're watching the replay, we have a workshop. If you want to send me an email, it's elise@elisearcher.com. It is paid, but it's low ticket. We have a workshop that I teach called the Millionaire Quarterly Planning Intensive. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. I'd love to share the link with anyone who wants it. So if you shoot me an email, elise@elisearcher.com, I can send it on over to you. But that teaches, it's like the 90-day planning process that I use every quarter to quantum leap. And so I love that it's a go-to. It's something I do again and again and again, because I've learned so much over the years about how to leverage my calendar and make it feel like freedom instead of making it feel like a prison. Because I think sometimes it can feel like a prison, right? Or restriction if we, or like to your point, just like a to-do list. But Cherie, I want everything. This is for everyone. I want everything in your business and in your life to feel like a multiplier, right? Your clothing should feel like a multiplier of your energy, of who you are. Your team should feel like a multiplier. Your calendar should feel like a multiplier. And what I mean by that is I kind of think about it like buckets, right? Like we want to create space or buckets on your calendar or in your life to hold the energy of what you're building. So if you, let's say someone wanted to train for a triathlon, which I've never done, like I don't know that that would ever be my goal, but shout out to you if it is. I love it. You would want to have the time blocked on your calendar to help you transform into that triathlete, right? Whether it's meal prep, whether it's workouts, etc. You want to step into this year, maybe the vision of being a multimillionaire entrepreneur. Well, what is her calendar like? What is her schedule like? But it's not, I mean, look, there's a lot of ways to be a multimillionaire entrepreneur. You can do it through hustle, you can do it through grind, you can do that, but you don't have to. You can do it through expansion, through flow, through ease. So if I'm looking at my calendar, I'm going to block time to take care of myself. I'm going to block time for the spa. And then I'm gonna block time for the things that really move the needle, like that workshop. I'd have that thing blocked already. I'd think about what retreats do I want to lead next year? What private client events do I want to put on? What date nights do I want to go on with my spouse or my partner? What trips do I want to take as a family? Like your calendar should excite you. It really should. If it's not exciting you, if it doesn't feel like, yes, I get to live this day, then something's got to change.
I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, what you call the name again? $1 million quarterly.
Yeah, my Millionaire Quarterly Planning Intensive. I can send you the link. Shoot me an email. I'll send you the link. But it's a beautiful program and it walks you through. There's a workbook that comes with it too. It walks you through the quarterly planning process I use. There's a workbook. So I highly recommend that one. And I can send the link to anyone who wants to send an email. But it's basically like how I use that structure to help support my goals
I love that.
every year. So yeah, great question. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyone else? Any questions so far? We good? All right. Oh, Pam, yeah, go ahead.
So, it's so funny. My words this year are alignment and presence.
Okay, love it.
And when we started the call, and the initial thing that you said made me think, okay, this is where I need to be
Mm,
because it's coming up on the 3-year anniversary of my son's death.
Mm,
And it's been a fog. But all I can
yeah,
say right now is my life is not like my job is not serving what I want in my life right now.
yeah,
I don't want to sit at a desk for 8 hours a day. I want to be free ranging with my grandkids. I want to be
yes,
present in their lives, not in front of a computer. And so learning how do I create that life? That's the life I want.
yeah, yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Um, so number one, first and foremost, just so much love to you as you come up on this anniversary. I was just getting off a call with a client and she was talking about how do you like, she was like, Elise, what do you do when bad things happen? Like, how do you handle it? How do you navigate it? How do you move on? What do you do with your life? And what we were talking about, and it's never, never, never to minimize the human experience of the thing that happens. It's never to try to make it something that it's not. But what we talked about was learning how to assign the most powerful meaning possible to every event in our life is one of the most important things I think we can ever do. We had a woman in our community several years ago who also had her son pass away. And it was a really obviously tragic, hard time for her. And she was there in the community when it happened. And she went through the process. She grieved. She did all the things. And she has since dedicated a lot of her work and her life to advancing research in the disease that he struggled with or that he was diagnosed with. Um, and has really made incredible advancements in the medical community and has turned it into part of her purpose. And she's a absolute powerhouse woman. And so I think, Pam, to what you shared, coming out of the fog some now, like I'm really big on knowing the timing of things in your life. And when we're going through that contrast, like it's not about spiritually bypassing, it's not about not feeling it, it's about allowing yourself the time and the space to grieve. And then about knowing, okay, when is it time to shift the energy, to move the energy, to move into something new here and to say, what is the most powerful purpose in calling on my life at this point with everything that's happened? And to your point of saying and knowing, I'm not meant to be chained behind a desk 8 hours a day. I would pay really clear attention to, like, because I feel like you know what you want to do. You know, you do, right? I feel that from you.
Um, it's been interesting how many, so 4 months to the day of my son passing, my mom passed. It was a
Mm,
rough year.
wow.
But
Yeah.
what's been interesting is that I'm part of that sandwich generation where I was
Yeah.
taking care of my mom, but I also had kids that I was raising.
Yeah.
And how many conversations I've just been part of where they ask me these questions and I'm like, well, just do this, just do that. And they're like, and they look at me like their mind is blown. And
Yeah.
so, like, just creating a community for other women that are in this place
Yes.
that they're dealing with, did mom get her medication and did I change the diaper? You've got
Mm,
all of this going on and still having the career.
yes. Huge, huge. And here's something I know, Pam, the reason that is on your heart to do is because it's meant to come through you. That's why it's there. That's why it's there. So the structure and surrender piece with that is really looking at it's going to the end, right? And looking at when my vision is fully manifested, when it's fully created, what does that look like? Vivid detail, right? Getting it in clarity. And then, and this is the important work, and this is the work we do in the community, it's a big piece of it. Who do I get to be in order for that to happen? Notice we're not talking about what to do yet, right? We're not there yet. But who is the woman who leads that community that serves other women in the sandwich generation or who have gone through that? Like, who is she? And you'll notice there's character traits about her. There's elements of her that are all latent potentials in you that maybe you haven't fully activated or developed yet. But the more you focus on the embodiment of being her, And then you'll take the natural action steps that follow from that. It will happen, but you've got to trust it. And I feel for you, it's like it's now. It feels like it's right there. It doesn't feel like it's something that needs to take a long time either. It feels like you're ready, like you're right there. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Beautiful. Were you gonna come off mute and say anything
No,
else?
I was just gonna say thank you.
Ooh, it's it's so powerful. And when you can, I mean, it's alchemy, right? To take
Hmm.
something that's probably the hardest thing you've ever been through in your life and then say, how do I use this for good? How do I turn this into something positive and powerful for other people? Right?
Yeah.
That is alchemy. So beautiful, beautiful. Melissa, you're saying you're absorbing all of it. Good. I'm so glad you're here. Um, Amazing. All right. I want to talk for a minute about how to go deeper into this work. If you're not currently part of our community and you'd like to connect further, I'll share a little bit about the VIP days that are opening up for the fall and something cool I've got going on Thursday. And then if we have time for any more questions, we can do that as well. Um, so she sells and superhuman selling exist to support you in your quantum leap. We have women and men from all over the world who are breaking boundaries, doing things they never thought were possible, massively expanding their income, their businesses, their money, their lives, but doing it, and I think this is important, in alignment with the fullest, highest version of themselves. For a lot of people, that looks like, they're on some kind of a spiritual path, and we integrate that into our community. It's not about religion, but it is about connecting to something bigger than you, and allowing that to guide you to really stepping into that fullest expression of you, releasing limiting beliefs, dropping old mindsets of hustle or grind or I'm not good enough or whatever it is that you've been holding on to. We have people launching new businesses all the time, new communities, quantum leaping in corporate, going from bottom of the leaderboard to top of the leaderboard, or building success in a more sustainable way. We've got so many incredible members of the community who are already high achievers, but they're like, I'm ready to make more money, but do it in a way that doesn't fry my nervous system, doesn't feel like I've got to hustle or grind or burn out. And we want to help support you in your quantum leap is kind of the surface level of what we do about growing your business or your sales. Yes. But is the how of it maybe different than what you've done before? Yes. It is about helping you become a vibrational match to your goals. I leverage um, best in class sales and business strategy. I've worked with billionaires, top 10 podcasters, New York Times bestselling authors, the number one sales rep in one of the biggest companies in the world. I've been the personal mentor to all of them. I can help. I know the strategy piece in and out. I can help with that significantly. My team is excellent at that too. But we also weave in neuroscience, quantum physics, spirituality, because the strategy alone is not going to get you there if your identity is not a match for what you want. That's what I've learned over the years. And so, Kim, if we can drop the next steps link in the chat, on the next steps link, there's a link to book a call. I would highly encourage you, if this is speaking to you, book a call with me. Let's chat. I want to hear what's happening for you in your life, in your business. Would love to connect and see how we can help support you. That we have multiple programs, everything from group coaching to my mastermind to private coaching. And then the two things that I want to share specifically today are one, like I mentioned earlier, I have opened up some spots on my calendar this fall for VIP days. I know when it's time for me to do these energetically, I only offer them when I'm in a place energetically where I'm like, I am ready to pour into people at this deep of a level. I'm there right now. I'm ready. I want to pour into you if this is speaking to you. So, this is a beautiful luxury day focused on you. It's experiential. So, there's a lot of surprise and delight elements added in. I'm going to be in both Maine and North Carolina this fall, so we can pick what location works best for you. It's vibey, it's luxury, it's high end. I want to have you in my energy for a day where we can be immersive, where you can experience $1 million plus wealth energetics. We can work on your business planning together, your sales strategy, your wealth consciousness, release limiting beliefs, do wealth energetics. What it's very curated to you and what your goals are. The whole thing is customized, so you'll fill out a form ahead of time. But if you're interested in applying for one of those 6 VIP days, send me an email. It's Elyse@ElyseArcher.com, and we'll send you the form to apply for that. Would love to connect more on that. And then this Thursday, I am hosting a free info call for a mastermind that I am a co-founder of called The Empire. Is Cherise still here in the call? There you are. But yes, Cherise in it. She was one of our founding members this past year. This is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful group. I co-lead it with two phenomenal women, Michelle Chalfant and Jessica Papineau. And we designed this mastermind, which launches again in August, for the woman who wants to build her empire. And that looks like all areas of life, massive business expansion, inner healing, which Michelle does so powerfully, embodiment, physical presentation, helping you step into being the vibrational match and energetic match for your goals, which Jessica does so beautifully as well. And so we've got an info session on that this Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern. It's totally free. And thank you, Kim, for dropping that link in there, theempiremastermind.com/live. You can sign up for the free info session. We'd love to have you for that as well. I think I covered all the things. Is there anything we didn't talk about? Does anyone have questions on any of that or on anything else that we covered today? We talked about a lot. I feel like we had a time warp today. I feel like, I don't know if it felt long or short, but I feel like we covered a lot in an hour. Anyone have questions on any of this or on any of the content that was covered? Are we good and feeling complete for today? Shameless plug for the empires. Cherie, I love you. Oh my gosh. Cherie, you want to come off mute? We didn't, but do you want to share? I don't know. You want to share like one thing that you've learned or one way you've grown this year? I'm totally putting you on the spot right now,
Really
but I
are.
just love you and I got to hang with you the other weekend. So
Um,
here we go.
Surrender has been my word for the year. And coming into the
Yes.
empire, it was clear that that's what was needed. And I am still in the midst of the uncomfortable spot. So we're not through yet. But I can tell you, when you're in the chrysalis, the caterpillar totally disintegrates and comes something new. So I can imagine that that's probably uncomfortable. And hopefully they're numb through most of it, but I'm not. So it's been, but at the same time, it's been good. And
Yeah.
it's funny because today, and I just knew it had to do with you, but I do the cards too, the ones that you
Yeah.
inspired me to get. And it was around surrendering to the journey. And it
Mm.
made clear that surrender is not surrendering to an external force, it is opening up to your soul. And I was like, that
Ooh.
has what the empires felt like these past months. It's like, and
Yeah.
really opening up and then really getting into letting go of stuff. Um, and so I'm in the midst, in the middle, and I have a future that I see myself moving closer and closer to, and like
Mm.
out the same fear and terror that I started out the year with, right? That's the best way I can put it. And that's still not adequate description, but I would go Thursday and check it out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's been
You're
life changing
amazing.
and
What
life
was it?
affirming. Life
Mm.
affirming.
Yeah. Yeah. You are, it has been such an honor. So cool to see your growth. And even, I mean, you're only 6 months in. So, like, when I think about for you, 6 months from now, 12 months from now, what you're doing, what you're stepping into, it does require getting uncomfortable. To your point, it does. But everything you ever wanted is on the other side of that. And you're there now. I feel it for you. So, thank you for sharing that. You're amazing. All right, everyone. So good to spend. Oh, Ashley, I'm so glad you're here. Good, good, good. Follow the poll. So glad you were here today. Thank you for sharing that. Would love to connect further with any of you who want to book a call, set some time for us. Again, send me an email, book a call. Let's connect. I want to help support you and help you grow. Okay. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you all. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.